Hello, Dr. Adams. My name is Ruby again. I'm here submitting my video blog for week 6. This week's video blog is about counselor competency and wellness. And we kind of discuss things regarding disciplinary actions that are taken out against counselors because of the various violations that are committed from the ACA Code of Ethics. So our first question is, what are the most common reasons for the board to discipline a counselor and my personal reactions to that? So I currently reside in the state of North Carolina. So I took a look at some of the recent cases this past year and the year before regarding disciplinary actions against counselors. The very most common theme are personal relationships and sexual misconduct, boundary violations, and as well as confidentiality and consent. Those are the top cases that I discovered when doing my research on the different disciplinary actions in North Carolina. One thing that really stood out to me was the amount of counselors who got their license either suspended, revoked, or counselors who have been reprimanded due to these personal relationships and boundary violations, which was very shocking to me. One case that stood out to me as far as informed consent goes is I'm going to read off this paper of notes that I took about it. In this case, the counselor did not store information properly. She did not maintain documentations for the services that she provided or the services that she billed for. She did not contain an informed consent record, which we talked about numerous times before in this class, and why informed consent is extremely important to have when you are, receiving a new client. The email that she used for her clients was accessible to family members, which is, huge violation of confidentiality. Having client information accessible to people who are in your family that should not know anything about these clients that you're serving. It's really shocking to read that. And along with that, the access to her computer, the username and password to access this information was accessible to her family members, which was very shocking because this is something that she should be protected, something that no one else should know but you, because it has your client's name and information as well. The counselor also had her appointment books, calendars, names, and other books with client information up there kept in an unlocked cabinet accessible to anyone in a waiting room. I just thought this case was extreme. The different circumstances that the counselor had her information stored, it was very shocking to read about something like that. And of course, this counselor ended up getting her license revoked for this type of information. Next question, how might self-care or lack of there result in counselor impairment? It's very self-explanatory. In the case that I just discussed, the counselor had a mental health issue of acute stress disorder, which, as we can see, like having different mental health issues and being under extreme stress causes impairment and probably would result in the counselor behaving in this way. So we can see that counselor impairment can affect the work that we do as counselors, how we perform and conduct ourselves as counselors, which can be very detrimental to not only ourselves, but to the people that we serve. What does the ACA Code of Ethics and the Professional Counselor say about counselor wellness and impairment? The ACA says that counselors should maintain and monitor themselves for signs of impairment, very important. And if you see that you are becoming impaired or showing signs of impairment, it is important to refrain from or provide services to others if you are experiencing some type of impairment anyway. And then, of course, you always want to seek assistance when you feel that you are impaired or can no longer provide services ethically to clients. And a question that comes to mind for me is, I'm just very shocked with the amount of cases that are about sexual misconduct, romantically, friendshiply boundaries, personal relationships. I'm just wondering if this is a common thing among other people in other states as well, and what more training can we do to avoid this in the future. Thank you for coming and listening to my video blog. As always, Dr. A, it's been a pleasure, and I hope you have a happy holiday and happy Thanksgiving.